welcome to CATEX-TV. This is a live broadcast from Princeton, New Jersey. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is Tuesday, March 31st, 2009. It's 11:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time in the U.S. It's 4:30 p.m. in London, 12:30 p.m. in Bermuda, and 9:30 a.m. in Mexico City. If you need to reach us during the broadcast, you can phone in toll-free at 1-866-67-CATEX. Overseas, our AOL instant mail address is CATEX-TV. On this day in history in 1889, the French engineer Charles Eiffel unfurled the French tricolor from the top of the Eiffel Tower, signifying its completion. The birthdays today, former U.S. Vice President Al Gore is 61 years old. We have a little bit of breaking news. It comes from the United States Supreme Court. Today, the Supreme Court dealt a blow to Philip Morris, the cigarette maker, saying it would not decide the cigarette maker's challenge of a punitive damage award brought by the widow of a longtime smoker that now is worth about $150 million U.S. The court's decision was a one-sentence order saying we will not hear the case. It concerned a case that has bounced around the judicial system now for about 10 years. It comes out of Oregon. An Oregon jury awarded a woman, Mayola Williams, about $80 million following the death of her husband. It was the largest award of its kind. The award is now at about $150 million with interest, and this is probably a signal to the cigarette makers that the Supreme Court is not going to look favorably on cases being appealed to them concerning punitive damages for harms that might be awarded to plaintiffs. So that's interesting news. In other news, at least 200 people are presumed dead off the coast of Libya after 3 European-bound boats sank in separate incidents. This is according to a group called the International Organization for Migration. The group sank off the coast of Libya. They were carrying migrants to Italy. One boat with 257 people on board sank on Sunday off the Libyan coast. Only 23 people were saved. The boat capsized in high winds and heavy rains. There are also rumors about 2 other boats, but it's not confirmed yet if these are genuine fishing boats or actually boats carrying migrants. There's no radio contact with these boats. Boats went down about 18 miles off the Libyan coast. Libya is a very popular departure point for African migrants trying to reach Europe. They generally reach one of the Italian islands, which are the closest parts of the European Union to northern Africa. At 8:33 this morning, President Obama took off from Andrews Air Force Base, accompanied by his wife Michelle, heading to London for his first stop on his first European trip as president. Of course, he's going there in connection with the G20 meeting, a meeting of the world's major economic powers. He's also going to a NATO summit. Interesting bit of news that just came in this morning. Bloomberg is reporting this concerning the G20. The French finance minister, Christine Lagarde, told the British broadcasting company, the BBC, this morning, that French President Nicolas Sarkozy will walk out of the Group of 20 summit meeting if his push for stricter financial regulation flops. According to Lagarde, Sarkozy will refuse to sign any statement if he feels the deliverables are not there. I think that he's very determined. Back to Obama, his 8-day, 5-country trip began this morning. He's first heading to Europe to address the global financial meltdown. The main event in London is Thursday, and that's the several-hour summit meeting with the G20 leaders. They represent about 85% of the world's economy. Obama has plans to meet individually with the leaders of Britain, Russia, and China. He's also going to meet privately with the leaders of India and South Korea while he's there. He's also going to be talking to people in Strasbourg, where he's making a speech to the European Union. He's also going to he's going to the Czech Republic, to Prague, and then he's making his first stop in a Muslim nation in Turkey. Along the way, he's going to squeeze in a meeting with the Queen of England, Queen Elizabeth II, in Buckingham Palace. He's going to be hosting a roundtable session with students in Turkey. When he went to Europe last summer as a candidate, he was received like a rock star. His welcome this time is expected to be no less enthusiastic. He's moved ahead on some campaign promises that have endeared him to the Europeans, such as signaling that he's going to close the U.S. camp in Guantanamo Bay, moving to end the Iraq War, and addressing global warming. In the U.S., its popularity is no less high. A Washington Post ABC News Post poll released this morning said that 66% of respondents say they approve of the way he's handling his job. Meanwhile, in reinsurance news, Validus Holdings Limited has come in with a rival offer, Max Capital's offer, for fellow Bermudian IPC Holdings. In an announcement, Validus says it has delivered a, quote, superior proposal in the form of a binding offer to the board of IPC to merge the firms. The proposal values IPC at $29.98 a share based on yesterday's closing. The deal would see each IPC common share exchanged for 1.20 Validus common shares. This would be an 18% premium to IPC's close yesterday. Total value of the IPC CAT Specialist common equity would then stand at $1.68 billion US. The Validus chairman and CEO Ed Noonan said, "This proposal represents a compelling strategic combination that we believe will generate superior value for both Validus and IPC shareholders." No word yet whether or not the IPC shareholders agree with that. We'll wait and see. Also, the Royal Gazette in Bermuda is reporting that Guy Carpenter has come out with their annual report of the Bermuda reinsurance industry. Carpenter is saying that 18 Bermuda reinsurers suffered a combined loss of $6.6 billion US last year. And according to Carpenter, the shareholders' equity among the same companies dipped by 15%. Although Carpenter does not specify which companies are included, the figures illustrate the extent to which the financial crisis impacted Bermuda last year. Last year's $6.6 billion loss marks a precipitous drop from 2007 to net gain of $8.6 billion. This is the wording used in the report. Carpenter made the point that reinsurance operations had continued to be profitable in a difficult year, while investment losses were 2008's chief contributor to the company's difficulties. According to the report, 15 of the 18 Bermudian reinsurance companies posted underwriting gains. Nonetheless, insured losses from Gustav and Ike particularly, combined with the dip in investment income, caused the composite's earnings to fall. Well, that's not particularly big news. The stock market is up about 112 points. The Obama moves yesterday regarding the very hard line taken against the automobile industry, Chrysler and GM in particular, are resonating throughout the market today. And I think there's a grudging admiration going on that finally a line in the sand has been drawn. And what's happening now is the banks, apparently, according to the news, are beginning to wonder if they're next for the hard line. Anyway, we'll go to a word from our sponsors and we'll come back with the rest of the news.